Queen Elizabeth II, UK's longest-serving monarch, has died at Balmoral, aged 96, after reigning for 70 years. She died peacefully at her Scottish estate, where she had spent much of the summer. The Queen came to the throne in 1952, and her existence abounded with regal adventure and excitement. Here is a list of the top, most fascinating, little-known facts about the dearly departed Queen. The Queen never went to school. While Her Eminence was well versed in foreign affairs, religion, constitutional history, and law, she never attended school. Nor did she hold a college degree. She was homeschooled by Britain's best tutors, and she learned to speak fluent French from her various governesses. The Queen did not have a driving license. Although the royal chauffeur, the Queen often loved driving on her own in her Jaguar and Range Rover for a joyride, but she never held a driver's license. She learned to drive when she worked briefly as a mechanic with the British Army in the World War II. The Queen did not have a passport. Queen Elizabeth was not required to have a license plate on her cars, or a passport for international travel. Since a British passport is issued in the name of Her Majesty, the Queen did not need to have a passport, though the Queen's bloodline, including her son Prince Charles, have passports. The Queen valued 10 billion more than Coca-Cola. Owing to the fact that her face is plastered on bills in at least 33 countries, money was never an issue for the Queen, who, as the top executive of the royal family, was said to be valued at approximately $10 billion more than Coca-Cola. The Queen made a cameo in Bond. The silver-haired sovereign made a cameo opposite actor Daniel Craig as James Bond in the opening visuals of the 2012 London Olympics. For the production, the Queen masterfully recited her line, "Good evening, Mr. Bond," before she and the Debonnois spy boarded a helicopter.
Good evening, Mr. Bond.
Good evening, Your Majesty.
The Queen was better travelled than any British monarch before her. Queen Elizabeth II was better travelled than any British monarch that reigned before her. During her reign, she visited over 100 countries, including Canada for 22 times and France 13 times. The Queen had her own private ATM. While it's rare that the Queen would need access to cash, she did have a private ATM in the basement of Buckingham Palace. The Queen volunteered as a truck driver during World War II. Before taking on the throne from her father, the then Princess Elizabeth volunteered as a truck driver and mechanic during World War II, making her the first female member of the royal family to serve in the military. The Queen sat for over 200 official portraits. In a world of selfies and Snapchats, sitting for a painted portrait isn't something that many of us will be familiar with, but the same can't be said for Her late Majesty. who sat for over 200 official portraits, both painted and photographed during her reign. The Queen sent a message to the moon. To congratulate the Apollo 11 astronauts on their first moon landing on the 21st of July 1969, a pre-recorded message from Her Majesty was deposited on the moon in a metal container. Lastly, Queen Elizabeth II's reign was the very heart and soul of the United Kingdom. Her legacy will loom large in the pages of British history and in the story of our world. Bureau Report, The Metro.